I walked through the front door carrying bags of decorations, homemade lasagna, and the 3-layer chocolate cake I'd spent all morning baking. My husband Derek's birthday. I'd planned everything perfectly. His favorite meal, close friends coming over, even the playlist of songs from our college years. My phone buzzed, a video notification from the family group chat. I set down the bags and opened it, expecting a birthday message for Derek. Instead, I saw my husband and his mother standing on a beach in Hawaii, cocktails in hand, laughing at something off camera. The ocean sparkled behind them. Palm trees swayed in the breeze. "Happy birthday to me," Derek shouted into the camera, raising his glass. His mother, Vivian, threw her arm around him. "Best mother-son trip ever. Sorry to everyone stuck at home." The video kept playing. My hands started shaking. They'd gone to Hawaii, without telling me. On his birthday. The birthday I'd been planning for weeks. My chest felt tight as I watched them laugh and dance. Then I noticed something strange. In the background, sitting in a wheelchair under a beach umbrella was Derek's father, Howard. His face was blank, unreadable. While everyone celebrated, he stared at the sand. His eyes looked sad, almost disappointed. I rewound the video and watched Howard's face again. Everyone else was laughing, drinking, celebrating, but Howard sat completely still. His jaw tight, his gaze distant. For someone supposedly paralyzed from a car accident 5 years ago, his upper body looked tense, alert, like he was holding something back. I'd always liked Howard. Unlike Vivian, who criticized everything from my cooking to my career, Howard had been kind, quiet, but kind. We'd have long conversations during family dinners while everyone else argued. He actually listened when I spoke. Now, watching him sit alone in that video while his wife and son celebrated without me, I wondered what he was thinking. My phone buzzed again, a private text from Howard. "Call me tonight, when you're alone." I stared at the message, my heart pounding. Howard rarely texted. He usually had Vivian type for him, claiming his hands weren't steady enough. But this message was clear, direct, deliberate. I typed back, "Okay." Then I looked at the cake sitting on the counter, the decorations still in bags, the carefully planned evening, now completely pointless. My phone rang. Derek calling. I let it go to voicemail. 10 minutes later, Derek called again. This time I answered. "Hey babe?" His voice was bright, carefree. "Did you see the video? Mom surprised me with this trip last week. Isn't it amazing?" "Last week?" My voice came out flat. "You knew about this for a week and didn't tell me?" "It was supposed to be a surprise. Mom wanted to keep it special. You know how she is." "Derek, I've been planning your birthday party all month. I made your favorite dinner. I invited people." He laughed, actually laughed. "Oh, come on, don't be dramatic. We can celebrate when I get back. This is a once-in-a-lifetime mother-son bonding experience. I'm your wife. And you're invited to the next trip." Mom just wanted some quality time with her boys. You understand, right? In the background, I heard Vivian's voice. "Is that her? Tell her we're having too much fun to feel guilty." More laughter. My hands clenched around the phone. "When are you coming back?" "Sunday. 5 more days of paradise. Look, I gotta go. Mom booked us a sunset dinner cruise. Love you." He hung up before I could respond. I stood in my kitchen, surrounded by birthday decorations and homemade food, feeling completely erased. I couldn't sleep that night. Instead, I scrolled through social media, torturing myself with more evidence of their trip. Vivian had posted constantly, photos of her and Derek at fancy restaurants, videos of them parasailing. Stories with captions like, "My baby boy's special day," and "Nothing better than family time." Then I found the one that made my stomach drop. A video of Vivian sitting by the pool, talking to the camera like she was hosting a talk show. You know what I don't miss? Dealing with daughters-in-law who can't take a joke. Some people are just so sensitive, they think everything is about them. Like, learn to relax. Family comes first, honey. Always. The comments were mostly supportive. Friends and relatives laughing, agreeing, adding their own complaints about in-laws. But then I saw it. Someone had tagged me. Not just tagged, they'd screenshotted parts of the video and shared it with the caption, "Yikes, imagine being called out like this by your own mother-in-law." My face burned with humiliation. My phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. I saw what she posted. "I know how to expose people like her. Interested?" I stared at the message for a long time before typing. Who is this? Someone who's dealt with Vivian before. Trust me, she's done this to others. Wanna talk? The next evening, I called Howard like he'd asked. "Thank you for calling," he said, his voice stronger than I expected. "I need to tell you something I haven't told anyone." "Okay." "I'm not paralyzed." Silence stretched between us. I thought I'd misheard. "What?" "The accident injured me, yes, but I could walk again after 6 months of physical therapy. I chose to stay in this wheelchair because it was the only way to have peace in my own house." My mind raced. "You've been pretending for 5 years? Vivian and I haven't had a real marriage in 20 years. She controls everything. The money, the decisions, Derek's life. When I was injured, she took over completely. And I realized something. As long as she thought I was helpless, she left me alone. No more fights, no more demands, just quiet." "But Derek?" "Derek believes I'm paralyzed because that's what his mother told him. She exaggerated my condition to everyone, made herself look like the devoted caretaker. It gave her sympathy, attention, control." I sank onto my couch, processing this. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because I've watched her do to you what she did to me. Erase you, mock you, make you feel small, and this birthday stunt?" His voice hardened. "That was calculated cruelty. She knew you were planning something. She did this on purpose." "What do I do?" "I have a plan, but I'll need your help." The next day, I decided to create my own celebration. Not for show. Not for revenge. Just something real. I called Derek's 3 closest friends, Kyle, Omar, and Brianna. People Vivian had specifically not invited to Hawaii. "Listen," I said, "I know Derek's not here, but I spent weeks planning a party. I have food, decorations, everything. Want to come over tonight anyway? We can celebrate friendship instead of birthdays." They all said yes immediately. That evening, my house filled with laughter, real laughter. We played board games, shared stories, ate the lasagna and cake I'd made. Nobody mentioned Hawaii or Vivian or the fact that Derek wasn't there. Brianna took a photo of all of us raising glasses to the camera. "This is what family actually looks like," she said, posting it to social media with the caption, "When your real friends show up." Within an hour, the photo had been shared dozens of times. People commented with heart emojis and messages about choosing your own family. I felt lighter than I had in days. Then my phone rang. Vivian. I let it go to voicemail, but she called 3 more times before finally texting, "We need to talk, now." Vivian's voice dripped with false sweetness when I finally called her back. "Sweetheart, I saw your little party online. How lovely that you had friends over." "Thank you. Though I have to say, posting it publicly while Derek's away, that looks a bit attention-seeking, doesn't it? Like you're trying to make people feel sorry for you?" My jaw clenched. I was celebrating with people who care about me. "Of course you were. But between you and me?" Her voice dropped. "This makes our family look divided. People are talking. They're saying things about Derek abandoning you, about me being a bad mother-in-law. It's creating drama where there doesn't need to be any." "Vivian. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post a nice family update explaining that you chose to stay home because you had work commitments. That way nobody thinks badly of anyone. Sound good?" "That's a lie. It's called managing perceptions, dear. Unless you want me to tell people the real reason you weren't invited? That Derek needed space from your constant neediness?" My hands shook. "You can't just watch me. Either you back up my story, or I make you look like the villain. Your choice." She hung up. 2 hours later, my doorbell rang. A package sat on my doorstep, no return address. I brought the package inside and opened it carefully. Inside was a leather journal, worn and filled with handwriting I recognized as Howard's. The first page was dated 15 years ago. "Today, Vivian told Derek I was too weak to run the business anymore. She convinced him to take over my position. I didn't fight it because fighting her is impossible. She rewrites reality until everyone believes her version." I flipped through pages, each entry more heartbreaking than the last. She told Derek I was disappointed in him for choosing teaching instead of business. I never said that. I was proud. But now he won't speak to me. She's convinced everyone I'm difficult and stubborn. The truth is, I just disagree with her sometimes. But disagreement isn't allowed in Vivian's world. The accident happened. She told the doctors my recovery was impossible before we even tried. She wanted me dependent. The final entry was dated 1 week ago. She's planning something for Derek's birthday. Something designed to hurt his wife. I won't let her do to another person what she did to me. It's time to stand up. Literally. At the bottom of the journal was a photo. Howard standing next to his wheelchair, full weight on both legs, taken just days ago. My phone buzzed. Howard. Did you get it? Me. Yes. Then it's time for phase 2. Over the next 2 days, I started digging through financial records, joint accounts Derek and I shared, credit card statements, bank transfers. What I found made my blood run cold. For the past 8 months, Derek had been transferring money from our shared savings into an account I didn't recognize. Thousands of dollars. Always in round numbers. Always on the same day each month. I also found something else. Business registration documents for a consulting company, using my marketing strategies, my client contact lists, my ideas. The company was registered under Derek's name. Launch date, next month. He'd been planning to start a business using my work, without telling me, without crediting me. I called Howard. I need to show you something, I said. That evening he wheeled himself to a coffee shop 3 blocks from my house. We sat in a corner booth, and I spread the documents across the table. His face darkened as he read. Vivian taught him this, he said quietly. Take what you want, rewrite the story, make yourself the hero. What do I do? Document everything, screenshots, copies, dates, then we wait for the right moment to reveal it all. When? He smiled grimly. When they least expect it. I started small, subtle hints planted carefully online. I posted a quote, interesting how some people preach family values while practicing family betrayal. I shared an article about financial infidelity in marriages. I commented on a thread about credit stealing in business. Speaking from experience here. Document everything. Each post got attention. Friends messaged asking if I was okay. Acquaintances who dealt with similar situations reached out with support. Vivian noticed. She posted a photo of her and Derek on the beach with the caption, some people spread negativity online because they're unhappy with themselves. I choose joy and family. Blessed, positive vibes only. Her followers ate it up. Dozens of comments praising her wisdom. But then something unexpected happened. Someone commented, didn't you abandon your daughter-in-law on your son's birthday? Another, my cousin worked with you 20 years ago. You haven't changed. The comments multiplied. People questioning, asking, remembering their own experiences with Vivian. She deleted the post within an hour. Then she posted a video. The video was titled, Addressing False Rumors. Vivian sat in front of the camera, wearing pearls and perfect makeup, speaking in her most reasonable voice. It's come to my attention that certain individuals are spreading lies about my family online. Let me be clear. My son and I took a birthday trip because he deserves to be celebrated. His wife chose not to join us due to work obligations. We supported her decision completely. She paused for effect, but apparently, some people can't handle others being happy. They have to create drama, play the victim, make everything about them. It's sad, really. I pray for people like that. The comment section filled with support for Vivian. Friends and relatives defending her, calling me jealous and dramatic. I felt sick reading them. Then I noticed something strange. A comment buried in the thread, posted from an account I didn't recognize. Ask her about the birthday party her daughter-in-law planned. Ask her why she deliberately scheduled the trip to ruin it. Ask her why she's always needed to control her son's life. The comment had 15 likes. I clicked on the profile. It was Howard's secret account. He was already planting seeds of doubt. Derek came home Sunday evening, tan and relaxed. Hey babe, he hugged me like nothing had happened. I missed you. Hawaii was incredible, but I'm glad to be home. I pulled away. We need to talk. About what? About you leaving on your birthday without telling me. About your mother humiliating me online. About you transferring our money without my knowledge. His face changed. You went through our accounts? They're joint accounts, Derek. I have every right to see them. I was going to tell you about the business. Using my work, my strategies, my contacts. He had the decency to look uncomfortable. I was building on what we discussed together. It's not stealing if we're married. That's exactly what it is. We argued for an hour. He apologized, sort of, said he'd been stressed about money, about proving himself to his mother, about living up to expectations. But the apology felt hollow. Rehearsed. I'll do better, he finally said. I promise. Just, can we move past this? Before I could answer, his phone rang. His face went pale when he saw the caller ID. It's Dad. He wants a family meeting, tonight. We gathered at Howard and Vivian's house 2 hours later. Vivian looked annoyed at being summoned. Derek looked confused. I sat quietly, waiting. Howard wheeled himself to the center of the living room. I called everyone here because we need to discuss some truths about this family. Vivian laughed nervously. Howard, what's this about? It's about lying, manipulation, control. He looked directly at her. Things you've been doing for decades. The room went silent. What are you talking about? Derek asked. Howard pulled out a folder. Financial records showing your mother has been hiding money in separate accounts. Medical records showing she exaggerated my condition to doctors. Emails between her and your sister discussing how to manage your career choices. Vivian's face turned red. You've been snooping through my private? Nothing is private when it's built on lies. Howard's voice was steady, calm. Derek, your mother has been controlling every aspect of your life since you were 18. The college you attended, the job you took, even your marriage. That's ridiculous. She scheduled the Hawaii trip specifically to sabotage the birthday party your wife planned. She admitted it to your aunt in an email. I have a copy. Derek looked at his mother. Is that true? Vivian stood up, her hands shaking. I don't have to listen to this. You've always been jealous of my relationship with Derek. Sit down, Howard said quietly. Something in his tone made her freeze. We're not done yet. Over the next week, Howard and I planned carefully. He had connections I didn't know about. Former business partners, old friends, people who'd witnessed Vivian's manipulations over the years. We arranged a small family gathering, just close relatives. Howard's sister, Derek's aunt, a few cousins, people who knew the family history. We're going to tell the truth, Howard said. All of it. Let them decide who to believe. I set up my phone discreetly, recording from a shelf. Howard had taught me this. Always have proof. Vivian rewrites history. We need evidence. The gathering started pleasantly. Vivian played the perfect hostess, offering drinks and snacks, laughing at jokes. Then Howard cleared his throat. Before we eat, I want to share something. A family history lesson. Vivian's smile tightened. Howard, this isn't the time. It's exactly the time. He began talking about the business he'd built, the one Vivian convinced Derek to take from him. About the accidents and illnesses she'd exaggerated to gain sympathy. About the relationships she'd sabotaged. People shifted uncomfortably. Vivian laughed, but it sounded forced. He's being dramatic. You know how he gets when he's tired. I'm not tired, Howard said. I'm angry, and I'm done pretending. In the corner, my phone captured everything. After the gathering, Vivian pulled Derek aside. She didn't know I was in the next room, phone recording through the partially open door. Your father is losing it, she said. He's making up stories, trying to turn everyone against me. You need to help me set the record straight. Mom, some of what he said was lies. All of it. I've dedicated my life to this family, and this is how I'm repaid? Your father's jealous because you and I are close. He always has been. Derek sighed. I don't know what to believe anymore. Believe your mother. I've never lied to you. Everything I've done has been to protect you, to help you succeed. Even that Hawaii trip, I did it because you needed a break from all the stress at home. What stress? Vivian's voice dropped. Your wife has been struggling. I didn't want to tell you, but she's been posting concerning things online, talking about feeling trapped, about marriage being hard. I thought some distance would help. She never said. Of course not. She doesn't want to worry you. But I'm your mother. I notice these things. I intentionally planned that trip to give her space, and now she's twisting it into some kind of betrayal. The lie was so smooth, so believable, I almost doubted my own memory. But my phone recorded every word. The next day, exhaustion hit me hard. The constant tension, the lies, the fighting, it was taking a toll. I met Howard at the coffee shop again. He looked tired too. This is harder than I thought, I admitted. Part of me wants to just walk away. Let them have their lies. Start over somewhere else. Howard reached across the table and squeezed my hand. I understand. I lived in that wheelchair for 5 years because walking away felt easier than fighting. But you know what I learned? What? Running doesn't solve anything. The lies follow you. The guilt follows you. The people who need to hear the truth never get to hear it. But what if nobody believes us? Some won't, that's reality, but some will, and those are the people who matter. He pulled out his phone and showed me something. Messages from relatives, friends, even strangers who'd heard parts of the story. People sharing their own experiences with toxic family members. People offering support. You're not alone in this, he said. Neither am I. Not anymore. That evening, Derek came home and told me his mother wanted to meet for coffee. Just the two of us? It's a trap, I said. Maybe, but maybe it's a chance to clear the air? I agreed, but on one condition. I'd record the entire conversation. The coffee shop meeting never happened. Before we could arrange it, something unexpected occurred. My small posts and subtle hints had been noticed by more people than I realized. Someone with a large social media following had shared one of my quotes about family betrayal. It went viral. Overnight, I gained thousands of followers. People sharing their own stories of manipulative in-laws, controlling parents, toxic family dynamics. My inbox flooded with messages of support and similar experiences. A local news blog even reached out, asking if I'd be willing to share my story publicly. Vivian saw it too. She posted her own response. A long, emotional essay about cancel culture and families being destroyed by social media, and the dangers of airing private grievances online. Her post got attention too, but not the kind she wanted. People started posting old stories about her. A former neighbor described her spreading rumors. A business associate mentioned unethical practices. Derek's childhood friends talked about how she'd controlled his social life. The cracks in her perfect image were spreading, and she was furious. The confrontation happened at a family barbecue. Howard had insisted everyone attend, cousins, aunts, uncles, even some family friends. Vivian arrived late, making an entrance. She wore a flowing white dress and oversized sunglasses, playing the role of the wronged martyr. I was helping set up tables when she approached me. We need to talk, now. Vivian, this isn't the time. You've been spreading lies about me online, turning my own family against me. It stops today, or I will make your life a living hell. People started noticing, conversations stopped. Everyone turned to watch. I haven't lied about anything, I said calmly. I've just stopped protecting your lies. You ungrateful. She grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. I pulled away. She stumbled backward, losing her balance. Her sunglasses flew off as she fell onto the grass. She stayed down, clutching her ankle. She pushed me. Everyone saw it. She attacked me. People rushed over. Derek helped his mother sit up. She was crying now. Dramatic sobs about being assaulted, about feeling unsafe, about needing to call the police. Then Howard's voice cut through the chaos. Nobody pushed you, Vivian. You grabbed her, she pulled away, and you lost your balance. I saw the whole thing. Everyone turned to look at Howard, who was standing. Fully standing, without his wheelchair, walking toward us. The silence was absolute. 40 people staring at Howard as he walked across the lawn like he'd been doing it every day. Vivian's face went white. Howard? Surprise. He stopped in front of her, looking down. I'd been able to walk for 4.5 years. Kept it secret because you made staying helpless seem like the only option. Derek stepped forward. Dad, what? Let me finish. Howard's voice carried across the yard. For 25 years, I watched your mother manipulate, control, and gaslight everyone in this family. She convinced me I was weak. She convinced you that you needed her approval for everything. She's convinced herself that she's the victim in every situation. He gestured to the crowd. Most of you have a story about Vivian rewriting reality. About her spreading rumors or sabotaging relationships or playing people against each other. You've all stayed quiet because she's family, because calling it out seemed harder than enduring it. Vivian struggled to her feet. You're making me sound like a monster. I'm making you sound like exactly what you are. A person who needs control so desperately that you'll destroy anyone who threatens it, including your own son's marriage. He turned to Derek. Your wife has been trying to tell you the truth for months, about the birthday trip, about the money you've been hiding, about the business you're building with her work, but you keep choosing your mother's lies over your wife's truth. Derek looked between his mother and me, something finally cracking in his expression. Howard faced the crowd. I'm done enabling this. We all should be. That night, I uploaded the full footage, everything. Howard walking, Vivian's manipulations captured on camera, the overheard conversation where she admitted lying about me. I titled it simply, "The Truth About Family Manipulation." Within hours, it had thousands of views. By morning, tens of thousands. Vivian called me 17 times. I blocked her number. She then posted her own video, crying about betrayal and privacy invasion. She threatened to sue for defamation, for recording without consent, for invasion of privacy. But her lawyer called her back the same day. The recordings were legal. The evidence was clear. And defamation requires lies. Everything I'd shared was documented truth. Her threats evaporated. Comments flooded in from people she'd wronged over the years, former friends, old colleagues, even distant relatives sharing their own experiences. The perfect image she'd spent decades building crumbled in 48 hours. Derek finally called me. "I need to talk. In person. Please." We met at the park near our house. Derek looked like he hadn't slept. His eyes were red, his hands shaking slightly as he sat across from me on the bench. "I've been going through everything," he said quietly. "The financial records, the business documents, the emails my dad showed me. I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. Your mother's been training you not to see it your whole life. That doesn't excuse what I did." He looked at me. "The birthday trip. The money. Using your work. I knew it was wrong. I just kept telling myself it wasn't that bad, that you'd understand eventually, that I'd make it up to you later." "Why didn't you just talk to me?" "Because my mom kept saying you wouldn't understand, that you'd hold me back, that I needed to protect my interests because wives can be unpredictable." He laughed bitterly. "She's been poisoning my mind against you since we got engaged." We sat in silence for a while. "I'm going to make this right," Derek finally said. "The business, the money, all of it. I'm putting your name on everything, equal partnership, and I'm going to publicly acknowledge that I screwed up." "And your mother?" His jaw tightened. "I'm done protecting her. Dad's right. Enabling her abuse makes me complicit." 2 days later, Derek posted a public apology. Not vague or political. A real apology naming specific actions, taking full responsibility, promising concrete changes. Vivian responded by calling him a traitor and claiming we'd both conspired against her. Nobody believed her anymore. Vivian's reputation continued deteriorating. The local country club where she'd been a member for 15 years quietly asked her to resign. Friends stopped inviting her to events. People who'd once praised her now avoided her calls. She tried one last manipulation. She showed up at our house unannounced, carrying a folder of documents. She'd somehow gotten hold of my therapy records from 6 years ago, when I'd dealt with depression after losing my mother. "Either you retract everything you've said about me," she announced, "or these records go public. Let's see how supportive people are when they know you've been mentally unstable." Derek, standing beside me, pulled out his phone. "Say that again." Slower this time. She realized too late she was being recorded. "You can't. Blackmail is illegal," Derek said, "especially using stolen medical records. I'm calling our lawyer right now." Vivian's face cycled through emotions, anger, panic, calculation, finally landing on a cold mask I'd never seen before. "You'll regret this, both of you." "No," I said quietly, "I don't think we will." She left, taking her threats with her. The next day, Howard filed for divorce. 3 months later, Howard stood in the center of a small gathering at our house. Friends, supportive family members, people who'd chosen truth over comfortable lies. He was walking freely now. No wheelchair in sight. Physical therapy had strengthened muscles he'd deliberately kept weak for years. "I want to thank everyone here," he said, raising a glass. "Especially my daughter-in-law, who had the courage to stand up when I was still learning how." We clinked glasses. Derek squeezed my hand. The business we'd built together, properly, legally, with both our names, was launching next week. Howard had invested as a silent partner, supporting us without controlling us. Vivian wasn't invited. She'd moved 2 hours away, living alone, still posting occasional social media rants about ungrateful children and manipulative spouses. Her audience had dwindled to a handful of people who didn't know the full story. Sometimes Derek still grieved the mother he'd thought he had, but he was learning the difference between the fantasy and the reality. "Happy birthday," I said to him, lighting candles on the cake I'd baked. 3 months late, but better late than never. He laughed. "Best birthday ever." This time, I believed him. Vivian showed up one final time, 6 months after everything had fallen apart. She appeared at the small restaurant where Derek and I were having dinner, standing by our table with a practiced expression of wounded dignity. "May I sit?" she asked. "No," Derek said simply. "I'm your mother. You owe me at least a conversation." "I don't owe you anything. You had decades of conversations where you rewrote reality, dismissed my feelings, and manipulated everyone around me. That's done now." She turned to me. "This is your fault. You turned my son against me." I told the truth. "You're the one who made the truth so damaging." Other diners were watching now. Vivian noticed, and her expression shifted to that familiar victim persona. "After everything I sacrificed for this family." "You sacrificed our autonomy," Derek interrupted. "Our trust, our peace. You didn't give, you took, and then you made us feel guilty for noticing." Vivian's mask finally cracked. Real anger flashed across her face. "You think you're better than me? You'll fail without my guidance. That business will collapse, your marriage will end, and you'll come crawling back, begging." "If that happens, we'll handle it together," I said. "As equal partners." "That's what you never understood. Partnership isn't about control." She stared at us for a long moment, then turned and walked out. We never saw her again. 1 year after the barbecue where Howard stood up, we threw another party. This time celebrating multiple occasions. Derek's actual birthday, Howard's divorce finalization, and our business's first major success. Howard arrived walking steady and strong, his new girlfriend beside him. She was kind, independent, everything Vivian wasn't. The cake I'd baked sat in the center of the table, decorated with simple words, "To new beginnings." Derek's aunt approached me, smiling. "I should have spoken up years ago about Vivian. We all saw what she was doing. We just didn't want the drama." "I understand that now," I said, "but silence protects the wrong people." She nodded. "You taught us that. Thank you." As the party continued, Derek pulled me aside. "I was thinking about that first birthday, the one in Hawaii. My mom kept saying I looked happy in all those photos. But looking back, I wasn't. I was performing happiness because that's what she wanted. And now," he kissed my forehead, "now I'm actually happy. There's a difference." Later, as guests were leaving, Howard stopped by to say goodbye. "You know what the best part of standing up was?" he asked. "What?" "Realizing I'd been able to all along. I just needed a reason worth standing for." He looked at Derek and me, then at the gathering of people who'd chosen honesty over convenience. "You gave me that reason. Both of you." As he walked away, really walked, strong and free, I thought about everything we'd been through. The betrayal, the manipulation, the fear, the fighting. And I realized that sometimes the best revenge isn't dramatic at all. Sometimes it's just refusing to be small anymore. Sometimes it's standing up, literally and figuratively, and saying, "No more." And then building something real, in place of all those lies. That's what we'd done. And it was enough.